Hello once again, everybody. SLR Turbo 51 over here with one of our very good friends and good racers in the league, Robbins. And once again, we're continuing with the interviews, and we are going to ask him a few things about himself to learn to get to know him a little bit better. Robbins, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Can't complain, man. You ready for tonight?
Yes.
Okay, Robbins, I'm going to start us off right away. Um, First of all, what got you into motorsport?
Um, nee, that's it, basically.
So he was the one that introduced you to the whole world of online gaming, basically.
Well, not really. Like, I watch F1 and then I bought myself a little simulator and I played the game for, yeah, like some time. And then Nathan invited me to this league and then I started playing a whole lot more, but that's it, basically.
Okay. Despite Nene, why did you start league racing?
Um, yeah, I just wanted a challenge, really. I want to see how good I am. Yeah, see if I can improve. That's it, basically.
Okay. And what is your favorite idea of racing? Like, what makes you tick the most when it comes to racing?
Um, yeah, just overtaking people and having fun battles with everyone.
So the whole idea of the competition within the within the racing.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a answer for a lot of the guys. They love the competition factor that there is within the game, and this why did you choose the F1 game? Obviously, it's part of the league, but what is it about the F1 game that you love so much?
Um, well, basically, I just watch F1, and then, of course, yeah, like it's my only game I have for like racing. So, uh, yeah. But if I watch F1, and then, of course, if you only know that game, uh, you're only gonna buy the F1 game. Basically, that's my knowledge.
True, true. How long have you actually been like a supporter of Formula One in general, not just the game?
Um, it started when Max Verstappen joined F1, I think. But that's it sounds really straightforward, of course, but a
Yeah,
lot of
Max
people.
joined what back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
2014, 2015, round about there when he raced for Toro
yeah.
Rosso.
I think 2014 he started, and then 2015 was his first whole season. Or, I don't know really. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, who can forget Max's amazing debut win for Red Bull at Spain 2016?
Oh,
I
I,
mean,
I won't forget.
so it's kind of clear that Max is your favorite driver.
Yes, of course, but that's it's like really straightforward for most of the Dutch drivers in this league, I think, and. Yeah, most of them also came into league racing, I think, because of watched the sport because of him, and that's yeah.
Yeah, well, Max has got a big is a big fan base. But bonus question: let's say, for instance, like Spa 2019, where Max had a DNF at the beginning of the Grand Prix. Who is your go-to guy to support if Max is no longer within the race?
Uh, it's a difficult one. I don't really have hate against drivers, or for example, but I always support his teammate, of course, Albon. Then he did a
Oh,
really good
okay.
job then. Um, yeah, like Leclerc is also a really cool driver in my opinion. Really fast and young and talented and stuff. That's kind of my go-to drivers, young, talented, fast, and those kind of drivers. Um, yeah, but of course, like I'm uh, not a supporter of Grosjean, for example, but yeah, that's
I don't think Grosjean has a support a fan
uh,
base anymore.
not no, not a lot of people. No.
Yeah, okay. No, actually, it was just quite interesting to hear that from you. So a last thing about the game, what would you say is at this time your favorite thing about the F1 game? Like, what is something that stands out to you about the F1 game?
Um, stands out the graphics. I think it looks really cool and looks very like the same as in uh, as in like if you watch it on television, and it's really improved since the last 4 games. Like it's improved massively if you look back at it. So that's probably what stands out to me.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a fact. I know Codemasters have done a lot of work with the graphics of the game, so I can
Yeah.
completely understand why you're going that direction. What is I don't know how long you've been league racing. How long actually have you been league racing?
Yes. Last season. That's it basically. Last season.
Okay, okay, and just if you would want to sum up season 7, how would you say, out of your perspective, it went?
Ooh, difficult one. Well, it wasn't the worst season for me, wasn't my worst debut season, but I made some bad mistakes. So it is like, and I was a bit unlucky as well. So I don't really know. It's a difficult one, really.
Yeah, luck sometimes plays a factor, especially when you
Yeah.
have these new drivers that are not used to everybody else's driving style and they make mistakes. So,
Oh well, that
yeah,
was me as
but
well.
but yeah, look, me me being the commentator for your race, you had a few standout performances. What would you say was your personal best standout performance?
Oh well, I drove really well in Monaco, but then in the end I bottled it as well. So I think Monaco is still my standout performance. I'm not sure.
Okay, I think I've got I've got a little bit of a teaser for the next question. But the next question I'm actually heading towards is what is your favorite but also least favorite track on the F1 calendar, excluding the 2020 calendar with Vietnam and the Netherlands? Of the 2019 calendar, what would you say is your favorite as well as least favorite track?
Uh, yeah, Monaco is my favorite. I just love the. It's so challenging. It's unbelievably challenging. I mean, I know racing might not be as fun as, like for example, Baku, but yeah, I still think it's like in qualifying, it is one of the best qualifying tracks in my opinion. Yeah, as I said, racing might not be as fun, but like strategy-wise for the race, it might be very fun to see like uh, one stop and two stops and those kind of things. Yeah, my least favorite track is might surprise might be surprising, but it's Bahrain. I just
Oh wow!
I
Okay, I did not expect that.
I can't drive around it. I'm so slow. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I'm like 1 second off the pace of most of the guys in my league there. It's unbelievable. So fucking slow.
even myself, I would say Sector 2 in Bahrain is one of my weak points when it comes to the entire
Yes.
F1 calendar. So I feel your
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah.
It was not even just the middle sector, the third sector as well. I'm only good in the first sector, but that's about that. So obviously, is there despite the absolute thrill of I wouldn't say the action, the suspense that Monaco delivers, with how close you get to the walls and all those types of things, is there anything else why Monaco is your favorite track, like a second reason?
Um, yeah, I like corners. I mean, I like street circuits. Like all the street circuits
Okay.
are like I like really cool tracks in my opinion. Like the same as Singapore and Baku as well. Baku is also a street circuit. It's really cool.
Mm.
But Baku is of course a little bit different. But yeah, um, I like it that it has a lot of corners. That's it. Like it's really difficult to master all the corners in one single lap for like in the race as well, and in qualifying it is even more important to master all the corners. But you can't always get every corner right, and that's basically what is so challenging about it.
Yeah, that's true. And when you talked about Monaco, one thing is that I totally agree with you. It is the best qualifying session of the year, whether it's on the game or whether it's in real life. To see the
Yeah.
drivers thread the needle, getting so close to the barriers, and just the adulations. I mean, going down from the hotel section through the hairpin and then through the tunnel, and then once again, as you come to the start finish straight, you start climbing again. it's a brilliant track to watch. You really realize how talented the drivers are, and even the guys playing the game. I know a lot of you guys are on little rigs, unlike myself, who's still playing with a pad. I hate myself. I'm joking. But to get a good lap around Monaco just makes you feel so good, especially if you feel you've gotten the most out of the car and out of every corner. I'm sure you can agree with that.
I can totally agree with that.
And okay, there's also, despite the fact that you say you're slow at Bahrain, is there other reason why that is your least favorite track?
Yeah, there's just one corner like to the left, I think, and it's downhill. You have to brake there. I just can't. It's
Oh, that hairpin heading onto the second DRS straight, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible corner.
Awful.
Oh no, do you drive with? Yeah. Do you drive without the ABS assist?
Yes, of course.
So you always lock up there, right?
Yeah, it's really difficult. You have to brake like really early.
Yeah. One thing, I'm not using this as an excuse, but on the pad, it is nearly impossible to drive without ABS assist. So for me, that is the one assist that I still have on, because it's just it is too hard to drive without ABS on a pad. I honestly can't wait for the day when I have my own rig. That day is going to be wonderful.
I totally understand you. It's just really difficult to master all the things you have to do. Like when I started to play, I first played with all the assist, of course, and then slowly you turn everything off. But I think on a wheel it's a little bit more easier.
No, actually, just a fun fact. I watched, he's quite a small YouTuber. His name is NewCruise51, and he did a video where he tested the difference between average player and a pro player, with the difference between a pad and a wheel. And on average, a wheel on the F1 game is between 7 to 1.2 seconds faster per lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a wheel is definitely there. But before we get sidetracked, heading into the final few questions, what would you say is your biggest weakness while racing? Like, what would you say is the thing that steals the most amount of your pace?
Concentration.
So that consistency factor.
Yeah, consistency. It's really, I mean, I can be very fast, but sometimes if I drive on my own, I'm just so slow. I just can't stay consistent in pace-wise and stuff. And if I'm at the back of a car, I might also be a little bit over-exaggerated with braking too late, or turning too late, and hit the wall. That's also a thing. Yeah.
It's frustrating when you're stuck behind another car, especially if you know you're faster. It gets really frustrating when you're stuck behind someone. And also with these modern cars, the dirty air can mess you around so much. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I know. Awful.
Okay. When I interviewed Nene, he actually gave his perspective of in real life. I'm going to, basically, this question is doubly asked. What is your idea of a perfect race in real life, but also in the game? If you look at the game out of your own perspective when you're racing, and as a spectator for real life, what is your idea of a perfect race?
Where do you want me to start with? Like the race, or in real life, or
start with the real life stuff. Like, what keeps your eyes glued to the TV screen?
Yeah, like the opposite of France last year. That's basically it.
France was so boring. Oh my goodness. Best nap ever, worst race ever.
Yeah, it was awful.
Okay, and sorry.
Germany last year was something that glued, not only because Max won, but just the action. From wet to dry is kind of also in the game. It's really fun to see, strategy wise and pace wise. Not everyone's as fast in the wet as in the dry, for example. And who is going to take the gamble and stuff. I really enjoy to see that.
Yeah, it makes it a fun factor to see who can make those split-second decisions that can make or break your race.
Yes.
So I can completely agree with you on that one. And a little bit of another question. I'm sure you're picking up F1 2020 when the game releases.
Yes, of
And
course.
are you excited for the two new tracks on the calendar,
Oh yeah.
aka Vietnam and the Netherlands?
Hell yeah.
Of the two, which one are you most excited for?
Well, I wouldn't be a Dutchie if I said Zandvoort, but
Okay, yeah. Obviously, Max fan, Netherlands. I can understand that.
I mean, Hanoi is also a great track. It's really long straights. I really like long straight sorts, and it's great for overtaking. And the last sector is also really cool.
The last sector is gonna. I think the last sector is gonna be hard to master, especially for
Yeah,
new players coming to the game. But I think also Hadaway is gonna provide such good racing because of all the straights and all the overtaking opportunities.
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that track, and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
yeah. Me too. And
So
Zandvoort, of course, with yeah, it might be just a Monaco 2.0, but like the barriers are a little bit further away. Uh,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I think it's going to be more like France when France was introduced into the game the first time. I can remember there was a massive skill gap between players who mastered the circuit quickly and who struggled to get used to it. And I think Zandvoort, especially with those long sweeping corners, we're going to have a little bit of the same effect.
yeah, of course like people who drive other people who play other race games where Zandvoort is in, it might help them as well. Like they know the track a little bit better, and maybe if there's like a Formula One car in that race game you can race with, then of course you kind of know how fast you can go and where to brake, for example.
Yeah, no, I think people like, for instance, Assetto Corsa, where the track is modded in the
Yeah,
game. Especially for PC players, I think that's going to be a big help. So,
yeah,
um, it's going to be interesting to see how the two new tracks come to the F1 game, and I honestly can't wait for those league races, especially in SLR. I think we're going to have a much more competitive season here in season 8. And while we're talking about season 8, on to our final two questions. What would you like to do better in season 8 than in season 7?
being more consistent, really. I had some races where I was really far up in the order, and then some races where I was really far down. Uh, yeah, and just practicing, like, not if I want to, but just getting the laps in, really. Uh, practice. I mean, like, if I don't really like Spain, I don't hate it, but I don't practice as much for races like that as for Baku, for example. And I still gotta really, if I want to get higher up the order.
Yeah, look, practice is a big thing, but it's not just that. We all have also lives, and sometimes you just don't have time to practice.
Nah, that's
So
true.
that's also a big factor. Hopefully, with this whole pandemic around the world, there's going to be a little bit more time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I uh, I had a lot of time for the 12 last races of the season last year. Just did a lot of
Yeah.
practice and went quite well.
So now you know I'm going to keep my eye on you as the commentator to make sure you improve.
Well, don't
Uh,
just don't do that.
Yeah. And finally, all I want to know is what is your goal for season 8? Is there like a specific position you wanna finish in, or what is your do you have a goal for season 8?
No, I don't really have a goal. I just yeah. Nah, well, I haven't been on the podium last season, which was quite a yeah. I didn't really. I mean, in Monaco, I was so fast, and I kind of fucked up in the last few laps, and I was like in third position, and then I hit the wall, and then I dropped down to fourth. So I probably should have got on a podium, but I just want to get a podium next season. That's basically it. Nothing like too special.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no, I'm obviously going to be rooting for you to get that podium. So good luck with that. And before we go, is there anything you would like to add before we say goodbye?
Well, I hope you guys all enjoy next season. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope also with the auto ERS and stuff, more overtaking, more action, more strategic battles, I think. And yeah, that's it basically.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Robbins, for having the time to speak to us. I think all of our supporters have learned a lot more about you today. And thank you a lot for taking the time to talk to me. And I wish you all the luck for season 8. And like I said, I'm going to be keeping my eye on you.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully that podium comes your way. Guys, that has been it from myself, SLR Super 51 and Robbins. Hope you guys learned a little bit. And keep an eye on him for season 8. Hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll see you all with the next interview. Bye.